Chapter 28. Author's note. I said stop guffle-maying the story. It was a mistake when Professor Rellery said that, okay? Load of ones. Go to fucking hell. You suck. Thanks to Philly for the help. Raven, have fun with Kiwi. We went into a black room. The walls were black. You don't say. With portraits of gothic bands like MCR, Good Charlotte, and Marlin Mason all over them. A big black coffin was in the middle. Red velvet lined the black box. There were 3 chairs made from bones with real skulls in them. I was wearing a black corset bar with purple stuff on it, fishnet suckings, and a black leather thong underneath. It's a bit much detail, isn't it? Bloody hell. I sat down on one of the chairs dispersedly. So did Draco and Vampire. Are you okay? Vampire asked, putting his alba-starred hand on mine. The fuck? He was wearing black nail polish. I was wearing black nail polish with red crosses on it. Individuality is not dead. Yeah, I guess, I said sadly. Draco also put his hand on mine sexily. I smiled sadly with my black lipstick. The problem is, I have to seduce Voldemort. I have to go back in time. Draco started to cry sadly. Vampire hugged him. It's okay, Ebbaby, he said finally. But what about me? You're not going to break up or anything, are you? Of course not, I gasped. Really? He asked. Sure, I said. We Frenched sexily. Vampire looked at us longingly. This is all just too weird. Then I took off Draco's MCR shrift and seduct Veli took off his pants. He was hung like a Stallone. He was hung like a Stallone. He had replaced the vampire tattoo that said Enemy on it. Black roses were around it. I gasped. He looks exactly like Gerard Way. Vampire took a video camera. I had said it was okay before. I took off my clothes. Then we were in for the rid of our life. We started Frenching as we climbed into the coffin. He put his Spock in my you-know-what, and we passively did it. Christ. I love you, Ebbaby. Oh, let me feel you. I need to feel you, he screamed as we got an orgasm. We watched Vampire, filmed everything perfectly. Suddenly, what the fuck are you doing? It was Snope and Professor McGoggle. 111. Chapter 29. Sockdas, fuck up. 1-1. You're just jealous cause you're prepped, so fuck you. Raven, you rock girl, thanks for the help. MCR rocks 666. She needs to come up with some original author's notes by this point. Oh my Satan 1, we screamed as we jumped out of the coffin. Snap and Professor McGonagall started to shoot at us angrily. Come now. That's what they were doing. Professor McGonagall. Come now, Preacher McGonagall. Oh my god. Come now, Preacher McGonagall yielded. We did, guiltily. We left the room putting on our clothes. Snoop garbed the caramel and put it in his pocket. Hey, what the fuck? Vampire shooted angrily. Yeah, Buster, what the fuck are you gonna do with the fucking camera? Draco demanded, all protective, looking at me and Longley with his gothic red eyes. Look, Dumble whore knows your little secret, and if you do this again, you will be going to St. Mango's. So give back the camera. 11111. Ha 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 ha. The Ministry of Mogic thinks he is crazy. There is no way they will believe him. Snoop laughed meanly. Yeah, so shut your mapuff, you innocent fools, yelled Professor McGoggle. She made us come into a weird room with white stones all around it. There were all these weird tools in it. Draco started to cry, all sexy and sexative. Jesus. And she's put in brackets, get it? Because he's a sex bomb. Lol. Tom, fell not rules for lift, but not as mucks. as Gerard, your sex on legs, I love you, folking rock, marry me, 111. Awesome. I started to cry, tears of blood. It happens in Vampire Chronicles, Raven said so, okay, so fuck you, 1. Vampire took out a black handkerchief and started to wipe my red eyes. And then he and Snoop both took out guns using magic. They started to shoot each other angrily. None of the bullets got on each otter yet. I took out my wand. Crocio, I shouted. Snap stated to scram, and he dropped the gun. But it was too late. Both of them had run out of ballets. I stopped the curse. Professor McGoggle did a spell so that we were all chained up. She took out a box of tools. Then she said, okay, Severus, I'm going to go now. She left. Snap started to laugh evilly. Vampire started to cry. It's okay, Enderby, said Draco. Evergreen will be alright. Remember the Sidio you took of Snake? Snape laughed again, and then he took out some whips. Christ. Chapter 30. Author's note. Stop flaming this... Oh, Jesus. You're going to tell us to stop flaming every single time. It sucks. Author's note. Stop flaming the story, okay? You do not know what's even gonna happen, okay? No, definitely don't. So, full you. If you flam, you will be a prep. So, all flammers can kiss my ass. Sorry for soz saying outs himmers is dongerous, but that's the mysteries opining, cause society basically sucks. Thanks for raving, you rock bitch. 111. No, 1-1, we screamed sadly. Snap stated loafing meanly. He took out a camera anvilly. Then he came towards Darko. 1. He took some stones out of his pocket. He put the stones around Draco and knit a candle. What the fuck are you doing? I shooted angrily. Snoop laughed meanly. He pulled down his pants. I gasped. There was a dork mark on his you-know-what, 1-1. He waved his wand and a knife came. He gave the knife to me. You must stab Verumpia, he said to me. If you don't, then I'll rap Draco. No, you fucking bastard, I yielded. But then Draco looked at me sadly with his evil gothic eyes. With his evil gothic red eyes that looked so depressant and sexy. He looked exactly like a pentagram. How? Between Kurt Cobain and Gerard. This makes no sense at all. But then I looked at Vampire and he looked so smexy too with his gothic... So basically she's judging this situation and whether she should let a guy get murdered or another guy get raped based on how good they look. I thought of the time when we screwed. And the time I did it with Draco and Dumbledore came. And the time when Draco almost committed suicide and Vampire was so sportive. Snipe laughed angrily. He started to pray to Voldemort. He started to do an incapacitation dancing around the stones, whipping Draco and Vampire. Suddenly, an idea I had. I closed my eyes and used my vampire powers. I sent a telepathic message to Draco and Vampire so that they would destruct Snape. Dumbledore will get you, Draco shouted. Yeah, just wait up till the mystery find out, 1-1, Vampire yelled. Meanwhile, I took out my wand. You ridiculous donderhead, 1-1-1, Snoop yielded. He took off all of Draco's clothes. Just as he was about to rape him, Crocio, I shitted, pointing my wound. Sneap screamed and started running around the room, screaming. Surely not. Meanwhile, I grabbed my black mobile and sent a text to Sirius. I stopped doing Crucio. You dunderhead, I'm going to kill, shooted Snape, but suddenly Severus came. He is... Oh, God. Snake put the whip behind his back. Oh, hello, Sev. I was just teaching them something, he lied. But suddenly Lucian and Professor Trevelry came in to the room, and they and Sirius unlocked the chains and put them around Snap. Then Professor Trevelry said, Come on, Ebony, let's go.